Welcome to Easy Crypto Hunter. We're the UK's #1 premier cryptocurrency mining hardware provider, and simply what we do in a nutshell is get business owners an amazing passive return through cryptocurrency mining. Now, you might have heard and you may have come across Bitcoin, you might have loosely heard of blockchain. You probably don't have too much of a clue, much more than that, but do not fear. We're the UK's largest organisation, and I've called the business Easy Crypto for a reason. If you're looking to form some really healthy passive income just by watching this video, this is exactly where you need to be right now. We offer a solution where you can buy some equipment, a posh computer, plug it in, turn it on, and it pays you every day. So if you want to find out how our machines earn over £7,000 in revenue, with last year's return standing at 72% ROI, with our full tech support advising you every step of the way, it couldn't be any easier to get started. Watch to find out a little bit more. You might have heard of blockchain, possibly Bitcoin. It's something that a lot of us have heard buzzing around, but what does it really do? Can I make any money from it? In the middle of 2020, is it something your business can benefit from? And the simple answer is absolutely yes. As business owners, we know that one of the dreams that we all kind of have is to be able to make money while we sleep, or this true passive income. And a lot of us might benefit from that, from maybe stocks and shares, investments, maybe property investments, maybe have some type of renewable energy that produces and you're able to get paid for generating that. There's many different ways of classic passive investments, and I'm here to tell you around another which is even more profitable, even easier, and you need virtually no tech knowledge to be able to do it. Cryptocurrency has now been around over 10 years. It was formulated and kind of conceived in 2009 after the financial crisis, where people wanted a new solution that avoided the banks in forms of payment. You know, why do I need to go through a bank in order to pay you? Why can't I just pay you myself? The only way that could exist previously was with if we stood next to each other and gave each other cash, and effectively Bitcoin became an online digital cash that could be used all over the world. And from that conception, it's now grown and grown and grown into a multi-billion-dollar sector. And at the time of filming this, the current market is somewhere around the $200 billion mark, with about 30 to 40 billion dollars of Bitcoin being bought and sold every single day. So you might be wondering, what the heck is blockchain, and why am I making such a big song and dance about it, and why does your business need it, and how can you make money from it? Well, in a nutshell, in its simplest form, blockchain is a new way, a new technology of moving types of data, which removes the need for third parties and removes the need for external trust. And what that effectively gives us is a digital trust on the blockchain, which means nothing can ever be mistaken, nothing can ever be lied about, and nothing can ever be taken advantage of. So in this little visual diagram that you can see before you is a really nice way to kind of visualize this. So ultimately what we have here is an underlying technology, and we'll call that the internet, because everyone watching this is pretty familiar with what the internet is. So the internet is a really cool base technology, and on top of the internet sits lots of different companies with lots of different business services. So we've got Facebook, Amazon, eBay, Microsoft. They're all totally different businesses performing lots of different activities. However, they all use the base technology of the internet to operate. That is exactly the best way to think about blockchain technology. You've heard about it in terms of Bitcoin, but you need to be able to separate those two things, because it's fundamentally the underlying technology, the blockchain, which is the really exciting secret sauce here. As you can see in this example, the blockchain is the cool underlying technology, and on top of the blockchain, again, like in the normal internet world, sit loads of different companies performing loads of different businesses. And all of them, yes, have their own tokens, but they're all performing totally different things. Again, they are not all directly competing to be a form of payment in a specific type of currency. Even governments around the world are starting to take this very, very seriously. Not only myself have I been advising the EU recently about exactly these things to make policy to kind of affect businesses and regulations around the EU. Even Sweden itself has now created the first e-coin, which is effectively a digital krona. So that's a new technology which has just come on board in the last few months as I film this video. Only a few days ago, the American government has announced looking at a digital dollar to be able to put some type of currency on the blockchain as well. So we're at the forefront of a new kind of technological financial revolution. And it's not just individual companies that are getting involved. Everyone from the banks and the governments and private entities are now starting to use this technology. And that's fundamentally why there's such an opportunity here before us as we speak. In order for two coins to move around on a network, they need computer power to move them from place A to B, and that's the service that the machines are providing. You might think the concept of just turning on a computer and getting paid every single day is one that is just simply too good to be true. It's magic dust and pixie beans. How can that be? Well, many of you watching this will be business owners. Many of you watching this will have your own respective websites. And I'm sure that paying a monthly web hosting fee for your website to remain online is something that you're very familiar with doing. And if you just stop and think for a second, why on earth do you pay a monthly web hosting fee to keep your website online? What are you really paying for? The reality of it is that you're renting posh computer power in a big web server somewhere that helps keep the website spinning. So whoever owns that physical computer server will be earning money off you every single month as you pay them for your web hosting. So whoever owns that computer is quite frankly getting paid just for leaving it running every single day. In 2020 and beyond, as technology moves forward, digital computer computational power, computer processing power is a resource the same as space or land or electric or any of these other things we're familiar with in the more commercial traditional world. And what I'm here to tell you is as this blockchain technology continues to move forward with things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then now hundreds of other coins that are out there, you're able to earn a very healthy income from helping power this new sector simply by leaving computers running that process all of those transactions. There are many misconceptions about this sector that stem from chasing Bitcoin directly. And as much as we love Bitcoin, there are much better ways to earn larger amounts of money in the cryptocurrency sector. Ultimately, we want our clients to get the best returns possible, which is why we have this ROI-focused approach, which is simply to focus on earning more pounds and pence rather than having a specific focus on the acquisition of one particular coin. This brings us on to ASIC versus GPU, the two main types of physical equipment that are used in the cryptocurrency sector. An ASIC machine, an application-specific integrated circuit, is a machine from which the ground up is built and designed specifically to mine for one coin and one coin only, such as Bitcoin. The problem with mining for Bitcoin is that it continuously gets harder and harder to mine due to its ever-increasing mathematical difficulty. As more and more people jump on to mine it, the coins are thus split across more and more individuals. As well as this, the chips inside these ASIC machines rapidly increase in performance simply to try and keep up with this difficulty level, meaning that a machine that you buy now in just a few short months is dramatically less effective, and it's simply just a consistent game of cat and mouse. Due to a combination of these two factors, this leaves you in a situation where very quickly your electricity bill can, and often will, be more than the coins than you're earning. Hence this being a common misconception that has tarnished the whole wider mining sector. As you can see, an ASIC miner has a huge energy consumption, nearly 2,000 watts. And with a huge amount of energy consumption also comes a huge amount of noise. Here is an example of the noise an ASIC miner makes whilst in operation. Please make sure you turn down your volume, as this is really quite incredibly loud. However, on the other side of the fence, which is where we focus our efforts, is the GPU machines, the graphics card processing units. Since the GPUs are built from the ground up to be very flexible, this enables them to focus more on the wider blockchain itself rather than specifically mining for one coin. Our machines can currently mine over 800 different coins, with new coins coming out every single week as the ecosystem continues to grow. It's fundamentally a machine that can do anything within the ecosystem and support any network. Because of this, you're often able to mine a much wider spread of coins, offering immediate opportunity to swap to mine more profitable coins as the market dictates. So why bother mining $2 a day of Bitcoin when you can mine $10 a day of another coin and all these crypto coins are interchangeable? On top of all this, our machines are much quieter than the ASIC machines. Here's an example that you won't have to lower your volume for. And because the performance levels of the graphics cards increase only slightly with each new card generation, it means that your machine will have a much longer usable life cycle, notwithstanding the fact that new graphics cards are released much slower than the release of new ASIC devices, again ensuring better longevity of equipment. The graphics card's main manufactured purpose, unlike the ASIC machines, is not to specifically mine coins. They're obviously more commonly used to render computer graphics, other types of large-scale data crunching applications, way outside the typical cryptocurrency market. This ensures that the cards themselves, irrespective of the crypto and blockchain world, retain a very high value as they're highly desired computer components in their own right. As you can see, graphics cards that are now 3 years old are still being bought and sold for a huge amount of money. These cards were £699 at launch and are still selling for £500 second hand. This is of course why we do what we do, giving us flexibility to mine new coins, mine more profitable coins, change between this coin and that coin, and also have various different strategies, with equipment that has a much longer technical life cycle and also many more tax advantages as a hardware purchase. All whilst having a much lower financial exposure, since the value of the cards themselves retains a large percent of its value over time, massively reducing overall risk of investment.
So what you're really interested in is how much money can a device like this make. Last year, one of our single units, just a single one of the ones you can see behind me, made over £7,000 in revenue here in the UK.
And that's even in the bear market of 2018, when the cryptocurrency market dropped significantly from the all-time high of 2017. If you look at the market over the years, you can see that we had these huge surge in the all-time highs of the bull market in 2017. But of course, it would be disingenuous for us to use those figures. So as you can see, we're specifically only using the figures from 2018 to 2019, April to April, because that market year, the whole market sector continued to fall in value. So it's a much more realistic indication of the figures. Even still, as you can see, that's still a £5,900 net profit. So from one single 6-card unit, it generated £7,100. This was including the average running costs of £1,200 per unit, roughly around £100 a month in electric. So that gives you a 12-month return of 49% for an average individual, and up to a 72% for those business customers who are able to offset the various tax purchase advantages of buying through a business. These figures are based on results from one rig, but as you can see here, your returns can increase as you scale your investment level. At investment level 2, only 5 rigs, the results from the bear market of 2018 show a commercial return of over 74%. And when you get to investment level 4, you're able to scale those returns to over 80%. In addition to these amazing returns, your investment in our machines become less per rig as you scale up. So as you can see in our example, one rig would be an investment of 10,000 plus VAT, and as you scale up investment to level 4, which would be 20 rigs or more, your investment decreases to 9,000 plus VAT per unit. It's important to tell you that your monetary earnings completely depend on when you sell the coins and their current market price at the time. Historically, selling accumulated coins over longer periods of time has always generated higher returns. As you can see, the price of Raven coin fluctuated, and therefore so did the daily earnings of the machines. So from July to August, a machine generated roughly 550 Raven coins a day. If those coins were sold at the end of the month, one unit would have generated approximately $11 per day. However, if those coins were kept and sold at the end of the year, that's the red highlighted section, then retrospective earnings would have been over $40 per day. So as you can see from the graphs in front of us, we always suggest longer term plays when it comes to the cryptocurrency sector. Historically speaking, with a continuous growing market, prices of the coins when you exit seem to be much higher down the road, and ultimately we want the largest earning of your coins possible, so selling at a later date is always generally the best way forward. People think that cryptocurrency isn't real money. Well, it categorically is. All these companies you see on screen, you can pay directly in crypto. So you can buy your favorite bath bombs, a games console, or even a coffee directly with cryptocurrency. You can also sell your coins into cash in an online exchange like Binance. You can withdraw your cryptocurrency directly straight to your bank account. And on top of that, there's now even cryptocurrency debit cards which you can use anywhere they accept Visa card payments. Here's one of our team, Alex, buying a coffee with his WireX debit card, not in a specialist cryptocurrency store, but in our office cafe. And as cryptocurrency grows, more companies continue to adopt this payment method. And this is one of the reasons why the sector is just such an exciting place to be. People have a lot of concerns if Bitcoin's going up in value or down in value. Can I really make money now? Have I not missed the boat from a few years ago? And a lot of people simply don't realize that as well as Bitcoin, there are hundreds of other coins out there that you can mine. Many of them are vastly more profitable to earn than Bitcoin. And as much as I love Bitcoin as a project and something that I'm keen to have as much of, one of the best ways to get it is by mining the smaller coins and trading into Bitcoin or using that revenue in order to get the Bitcoin itself. Fundamentally, it all comes down to maximizing ROI, and that's what we do here at Easy Crypto Hunter. We simply provide the best equipment, the best education, and the best customer service to make sure that you're never left out in the cold and you're able to get a piece of equipment with ongoing advice to ensure that you know exactly how to use it in the best possible way. So up to now, we've kind of taken you through where blockchain came from, what the need for it is in the business community, what the machines are doing, the different types of machines, and also the different ways in which you're able to mine some coins is probably your next question, and that's really where we find ourselves now. So ultimately on the GPU side of things, because you have all this flexibility of which coins to mine, people are often concerned about which coin do I mine? I don't have a clue, I'm just an idiot, I'm just new to this space, how do I know what to do? Well, don't worry, that's exactly where Easy Crypto Hunter come in. We provide that advice to all of our clients and help navigate you through which coin to mine, what's best to do, and which approach to take. And now we're going to overlay kind of some information that will show you exactly the way in which we do that. We call that the 4 ways to mine, as there's mainly 4 different types of strategies that we can employ with people moving forward to get the maximum return from their investments in these products. These 4 strategies are simply: number 1, mine today's most profitable coin. Number 2, mine a brand new coin that's just come out. Number 3, you can change which pool you're mining and the way in which you mine in that pool. And number 4 is to use the device for a different thing entirely, which is artificial intelligence and deep learning computations, and get paid for that too. It's important to note that we don't change coins and strategies every day. Last year, for example, we only advised our clients to mine 3 different coins. Even though the market consistently moves, there are often individual coins which outperform others for a much longer period of time than people realize. It's something you never need to worry about. It's incredibly simple. The cryptocurrency market is our expertise and our passion, and we pride ourselves in knowing the best strategies to take at the best times, and as part of your service with us, we will advise you all the way through your cryptocurrency mining journey. So when it comes to practical strategies with these, obviously it really comes down to 1, how many machines you have, and 2, your risk propensity. So if you wanted to go hell for leather and go crazy, you could have 1 machine mining the brand new small coins and just hope you hit the jackpot. Now, I certainly wouldn't advise that. Realistically, with 1 machine, you're probably going to be taking the first approach of mining today's most profitable coin. And again, that would make things really straightforward and simple. But we typically start to change the approach with maybe 5 machines, where perhaps you might have 2 machines mining the most profitable coin, 2 machines mining the second most profitable coin, because sometimes they can flip and flop in the market in prices, and then maybe 1 machine on a slightly higher risk coin. Or if the market dictates that 1 coin is vastly better than all the rest, we can throw all our power on there for a shorter period of time, and ultimately capitalize in that manner too. So the beauty of this is that we deal with every client individually. We're able to customize those strategies and approaches, educate you as to how all this works, and from 1 online dashboard, which will again give you access to, you're able to control all these rigs from anywhere in the world, from any internet connected device. So it's really very simple in order to operate this stuff, and with our advice and our assistance, you're able to maximize this in a much more intelligent way than just crossing your fingers and mining Bitcoin and hoping for the best. You don't need to worry here about the technical expertise on your side. We have many clients who are much older, completely not computer literate as many people would think. The reality is it's very simple, very straightforward. Everything, it gets about as technically complicated as copying and pasting. So if you're happy with copying and pasting, you're going to be just fine using this equipment. Everything is done remotely, and this is why we use this special software that we're talking about, because it gives us as a tech team access to log onto your equipment to be able to help remotely with any troubleshooting stuff. So if you ever do get stuck, or if you have a question, you can simply give us a call. Some of my team have routine maintenance where they'll go through and check all our clients' accounts to make sure everything's working the way it should. So we just want to be able to give the best service we can. So technical issues are not something to be concerned about. Just to be explicitly clear, the software in which we use to control your machine, to assist in which coin it's mining, which of course we train you on how to use and you have full access to, never stores any of your coins. Your coins are stored in a separate coin wallet, which we as a business never have access to. So there is no issue in security, your coins are entirely safe, and what you choose to do with them is up to you as an individual. So a concern some people have is about the physicality of the rigs. As you can see, they're not very large, they don't give off that much heat. You can see some pictures here of the typical places people have stored them. On average, for the majority of people, if you have a couple of units or even a good handful, it's often cheaper, faster and easier for you just to plug these in at home, in a warehouse, in a shed, in a garage, in your spare room, office, or wherever it may be, and look after the equipment yourself. However, for larger clients who are looking at purchasing quite a vast amount of stuff, who perhaps don't have facilities to house many units, We also have hosting facilities where we have partnerships with one of our clients who owns a 100% renewable energy infrastructure location where we can put your equipment, run it on renewable energy, store it nice and safely, look after all the electric, insurance and maintenance, and for a one-off monthly fee, everything is included that you might need, which may, in total, make everything a little bit cheaper for you if you're running a large amount of equipment. When it comes to warranties, of course, that's something we're more than happy to partake in. Simply, everything is covered for the first 12 months, parts, labour, warranty service, absolutely everything is included if anything happens in the first 12 months. After that period of time, we default back to the manufacturer's warranties, so typically that depends on each component, but that can often be 2 to 3 years, sometimes above 5 years in certain cases. So in regards to your equipment being, if anything does happen for extended periods of time, you should be pretty well covered. And again, we assist in all of that process as part of our value to you. There can also be some exceptional tax advantages for this type of thing, because at the end of the day, you're buying a posh computer. You might be able to get VAT back, you might be able to put it through as a capital asset investment, you might be able to put it through as an R&D tax credit, depending upon what you're using that product for. If you're using this directly in the business for new types of research and development purposes, there's loads of really exciting things that different people have done for this, and we have customers from the property sector to domestic investors to multinational clients to renewable energy producers to farmers. The list really just goes on. There are many, many reasons and many people that are interested in this technology, because who wouldn't want a machine that just pays a little bit of passive income and lets you crack on with the day-to-day business every day. So really, what does all of this boil down to in the end? What we have on offer here is you're able to come and work with the UK's largest company that manufactures this type of equipment. You get full tech support, so whether or not copying and pasting is the maximum of your ability, you simply need no more. We're able to advise you consistently for lifetime on the best coins to mine to maximize your ROI from your products. We're able to educate you as to what the heck this is. We take people from that have heard of Bitcoin at an absolute loose minimum all the way to crypto experts, and we help take you through that path if you so wish on the journey. And ultimately what you're left with is a machine that just needs normal internet connection, a normal plug socket, turn it on, let it go, and you're able to earn passive income 24 hours a day. The figures speak for themselves. Our clients speak for themselves.
It's just a plug in and go, really.
Being very nervous when I first started, thinking that, oh well, I can afford to lose a few £1,000. Very confident, and I'm very confident of the team and the way the market itself is going, and very confident for the future as well.
Trust, great service, technically seem to be ahead of the curve from the other providers that are out there. So all of those make me pretty happy, or 100% happy to work with Easy Crypto.
So if you think any of this is going to be interesting for you, have a click straight below. That's going to take you to our webpage where you're able to make a purchase directly, or simply straight away book an appointment to come and see us, where we can extend this conversation in person and see how that might work for you and your individual business. I've been Josh from Easy Crypto Hunter, and I look forward to seeing you soon.